Yo, bro, are you ready for this podcast?
What's up, Lucas? I am. Let's fucking go. Let's do this.
Today's episode is going to be action packed, and to all our bros, gym bros out there, this one is for you. All right, Mark.
All right, what do you got?
You
What's
know
the
it.
what's the gym pro action, Lucas? What is it?
So the topic of this episode is going to be protein crisis finally over, and why
Ooh.
did it actually happen? Right.
Wait,
So
but is it over?
we will see. Stay till the end of the podcast to know more.
Turn
So,
on the
I
sexy
mean, over the
voice.
last, exactly. So, over the last 2 years, if you look at the inflation rates, you see, like, all right, inflation rate in 2022 was 6.5%. In 2023, now it's estimated to be like 4 to 5%. At least that's what they're
Wait.
saying.
Real? Exactly.
Exactly. That's what they're saying. And in real life, as you can see, like in Germany, prices increased by, I don't know, 20 to 30%, which is ridiculous. But
Mm-hmm.
then we look at our protein, right? So, because man, protein has been so expensive. So I did some research on our orders because we love to order protein. And then in 2021, for example, Mark, do you still remember roughly what we paid? If not, I can help you out for
Okay.
2.5 kilos,
All
so
right.
like 5.5 pounds,
So I think
roughly.
this all depends on the discounts because my protein works on a discount model. They always have discounts going on, and
All
I
the same
believe.
discount, 45,
Okay.
45%
Okay.
discount.
So I don't know why, but in my head I have something underneath 30. So I feel like we paid like at some point 27, 28 for 2.5 kilos,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure when that was.
All right.
So yeah.
I think that must have been a little bit longer ago,
Mm-hmm.
but we paid in like June, July 2021, we paid 30 euros and 50 cents per 2.5 kilos.
Oh,
So
pretty
five
good.
pounds,
Really good actually.
5.5 pounds. Yeah, that's really, really good. And now with the same discount applied, you would pay on my protein 64 euros. And that's already like the maximum discount that you can get. And like even on the official website of my protein, they're like, oh yeah, we are sorry that the price of our protein has been increasing by 87% lately, but it's because of the supply chain issues. And I'm like, wait, how is it possible? Like literally inflation is like 6.5%. How is that a thing, right? So your boy went on a research trip and he was like, all right, I want to discover why it got so expensive. All right, Mark, what do you think why the prices are so high? Like, especially it started in 2021. And yeah, as you can see, 2 years later, it's still happening. What do you guess
I
this?
honestly think that all the gym bros need to have a second job for this.
Oh man, imagine you're paying like twice. It's not like that. Like you can say, all right, I'm just taking half a scoop of protein. Your body gotta need that 23 grams. No, it doesn't. But
There's a surplus now of gym bros looking for a secondary job. Like, hey, can I do something for an hourly?
I need
I
my
need to
whey
get that
protein.
protein. Seriously, this is insane, man.
All right, Mark. Why do you think the protein costs actually are rising or were rising? What is the reason?
Right. So there's a few of them. I think there's a lot of things, anything with the supply chain. So because gas
Yeah,
prices increased, at least that's what they always said. Then no, that means has an impact on when after the creation, then to the transport, then there's a lot of transport happening. Then obviously
all
there
right.
could be something because it's a milk product, so this could be related to anything with cows. That means anything disease related or maybe other environmental facts that could have an impact on it. Then at some point, maybe corporate greed. I mean, it's like oil prices, gas prices in Germany are insane. And even though the cruel oil prices decreased already, the prices are
Yeah,
still higher than before. So I think might be a combination of the brands that want to obviously take advantage of this crisis, as
yeah.
well as actual environmental or product causes.
I like the way you think, especially with the oil crisis. Let's see later whether that is still the case. But the main reason actually why
Ooh.
the prices end up increasing is literally the fat, like feeding the cows, got more and more expensive during the crisis, like during the
Ah.
pandemic, as well as the heat. So because of the climate change and it's getting warmer and warmer, the cows like feels
Mm-hmm.
too stressed and they reduce their production.
Really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
so I saw, but not by much. I think like 1.9% or something like this. So it's not a huge impactor. It doesn't wouldn't explain that. And the other one is the lack of sufficient dairy workers, meaning those people. who, yes, exactly, like extract the milk as well as then doing taking
Mm-hmm.
care of all the transport. So that's
Yeah.
one of the things or one of the reasons.
So,
Now,
question,
as
Lucas.
yes,
Do we think that in the future we'll see a lot of ACs used in these kind of in this milk production facilities to
I think
like de-stress the cows?
it might be worth it at one point in time, but the milk prices need to, or the like WPC, so whey protein concentrate, and WPI, whey protein isolate, the price need to drastically increase that it's worth the electricity bill. So there
Fair
might be
enough.
different ways, right? You can just like build build the where the cows are like hold so that it's like not as hot there, right? So you can like
Mm-hmm.
with the renewable ways. I'm sure there's a better way than using AC. But yeah, I like the way you think. Mark, I want to go now. Let me share my screen very quickly. I want
Mm-hmm.
to show you the actually price increases, which are really so basically how it works, guys. So you what like my protein, etc. They buy by ton, right? So WPC, so whey protein concentrate, and WPI, so whey protein isolate, they buy it in tons. Now here you can see for the US the whey protein concentrate. I'm sharing my screen right now. Just to
Mm-hmm.
for those people only listening. So the prices in let's say in April of 2021 was $2,000 per ton, and then in April it was
That's not
3.6
cheap.
ton.
That's not expensive at all.
No, it's not that much at all. Like it's okay. It's definitely okay. But as you can see, like from 2,000 to 3,600, like 80% increase. And then in
Yeah.
2023, actually it dropped again, right? You can see like year over year, that's 32% decrease again. And if you go look
Mm-hmm.
for June, look, I mean, it's cheaper right now in 2023 than now in 2021. And at least in the US, in Germany, it's still different. You can see that's 50% decrease from 2022 to 2023. So like
Yeah.
2,109 in 2021, in 2022,
What does Germany
almost.
look like? Can you show?
So in Germany, it's up here. As you can see, we had a peak in April 2022 by 4,299, and now it's 2,400. But in
It's
general,
still cheaper.
yeah, it gotten actually cheaper than 2 years ago, before the drastic increase in prices. So my assumption now, my question mark. I mean, you already answered a little bit. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think the companies, the protein companies, who literally said 2 years ago, "Hey, we're trying to hold the prices as stable as possible and trying to like absorb basically like the
Mm-hmm.
damage or the price increase on our side, on our margins? Or do you think now that the crisis is over, they're like, hey, well, we're going to absorb a little bit more profits before we decrease prices? Or do you think they will just keep the same prices because the people got used to it?
All right. I have two questions for this.
Yeah.
First, what is it that they claimed why the price increased? Please keep the statistic. I want to see it. Keep seeing it. Why is it
All
that the
right.
price increases? Is it just because of the raw material in terms of the milk, or
Yes.
is there another factor that they mentioned? That's the only that they
No,
mentioned.
so so on my protein they said supply chain, but then on another website, another brand, they said literally it's the WPC and WPI prices that increased
Mm-hmm.
drastically. Also you have to think that's the main ingredient, right? So like in milk products, it's different if you have that because you're mixing it with other things. But on like whey protein isolate, if you buy the powder, it is just like 80, 85, or 90% just that powder, and then the rest is
Mm-hmm.
just like I don't know, fillers and like flavor.
Yeah, makes
But
sense.
yeah,
Sweeteners. So I
yeah,
think okay, a few things. I mean, supply chain. That's just the question is how much of the profit or profit margin. What are the costs connected to this? Right? They use the raw
yeah,
material, then they have to process it further. I'm guessing the energy bill did not increase by that much. That you have literally price increase by double, even if it increased by 10%, and you want to say, hey, I want to save the consumer, that would be equal 10% increase. Let's say everything, all the costs increase by 10%. Let's say it's just the inflation, then 10% would
yeah.
be fine. But double, I'm definitely saying that they're putting this in their own pocket because look at the prices. Like if it is decreasing the price per
Crazy.
ton of that is insane, right? I mean, it's like the gas companies, like we said that already before. I mean, I don't blame them. It's their business, but it sucks for the consumer. But again, that lives also a great opportunity for other brands new brands to come in and be like, hey guys, this is what we want to do. We keep it real. This is what we
Yeah, I
want.
mean, they
And
can
then,
undercut the prices by like 30% easily. I mean, as you can
yeah.
see, my protein from 30 euros to like 64 within like a year and a
Bro,
half,
this
or
is
actually it was
fucking
a few months.
insane. Holy shit.
Yeah, because also I'm thinking, don't they buy the same as an airline company, right? That they buy futures.
I was
Um,
thinking that too. Yeah.
right? So for those who don't know anything about how futures work, so basically you pay a fixed price. So you're saying, hey, I'm gonna buy over the next 2 or 3 years, I'm gonna buy whey protein. I'm gonna pay like a fixed price. I want to always have like, let's say the normal market price is now 30 year or like 2,000 euros per ton. So I'm gonna pay a little premium, so like 2,200, but then at least it's gonna be stable for this for the next 3-4 years. And then the supplier can accept it because they can say like, all right, we're making a cut, like we're making 10%. But
Yeah.
in the case when like their protein prices drastically spike, like the supplier like loses money, whereas the guy who bought the future basically like can hedge against like those crises. I mean, like big companies, like for example, airline companies, all do that.
Makes sense, honestly, but still a mind blower to me how that is so expensive. It's just like, oof. I
It
mean, that
is for
also
sure.
reminds me a very related topic. Creatine. Creatine also has
Yeah. Oh
like
my
doubled in
god.
price. And they
Yeah.
also claimed the same things like, hey, supply chain issues, and now it's double the price. And we're like,
Do you have data on that one, or should we
dang.
keep it for the next episode?
No, let's keep for the next episode. It just
All
reminded
right.
me
For all the
of it.
gym bros out there, double flex. We're gonna make the creatine episode in the next one or next few episodes. So stay tuned.
All right, I think because we're done with the stats now, then, but it's super sick.
Alrighty.
I like it a lot.
Alrighty, Marky
That's a
boy.
that's a good one.
What do you have for me? If not, I still have another AI topic I really want to talk about, but what do you got?
All right, so I got two topics. I think I'm gonna do AI, and then we can do the other one. Well, which one do you want? Because you saw
Juicy,
the other notes.
juicy. No, let's go to for AI. Let's finish off strong with
All right,
some AI topic. So we got the gym bros as well as the tech bros, all combined.
all right, all right. So this is the scenario. Quick break in the pod. All right, guys, I want to talk to you about good gaming etiquette.
So Mark, what is a good gaming etiquette?
Well, thanks for asking, Lucas. Good gaming etiquette is when you enjoyed a game, you got carried, or you had a great teammate, you just drop that GG well played in the chat and thank the other teammates for being there.
Ah, I see what you did there. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this pod, please leave a comment, share it with a friend, and of course, leave a review. And now keep enjoying the show.
We've all seen an action movie. Everyone is there. Everyone has seen a Tom Cruise movie, like Mission Impossible. I think a new Mission Impossible is coming out this year as well, so it might be a good connector. Any kind of spy movie, everyone has seen it already. They're crazy. There's like the technology of the future where they're like, hey, this is science fiction. We can see it. We can hack into a satellite and then we can track everyone. We can track a car. We're just like, hey, have a track on it. We can track it for miles and miles and
Yeah.
miles. We can see how many people legit. I don't know, Lucas, do you remember like you see the satellite view and then you have like all of a sudden there's like little boxes around each item. It's like, hey, this is a car, this is a
Yeah.
Toyota Camry,
Who
whatever
hasn't
it is.
seen that one? It reminds me
Exactly.
of the movie, the Transformer actor, I think, back in the day, who did like who has like a twin brother. I think
Oh, Sheila
Eye
Buff, Sheila Buff.
something.
Yeah.
Um,
Eagle
Eagle
Eye.
Eye, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So exactly, imagine like that. I mean, Eagle Eye, for those people who don't know, was basically an artificial. Well, it's a movie, and it was this artificial intelligence that went on a rampage, basically, and tried to I don't know. I think escape where it was, and then was like controlling everything, like from satellites to radio. I think also
All
lights,
traffic lights, all of the
traffic lights.
yeah.
Insane. And then it had always the views like, hey, how to identify. I mean, I'm guessing some of the people have also seen like videos of self-driving cars, how cameras identify or AI identifies objects. So anyways,
Yeah.
so there's this one dude that now has created something that is like a free software. You can download it, and it does that from you can just fly with your drone, just camera, take a video, and this you can run the software afterwards, and it identifies all the objects.
What? Do you have a video of it?
Yes. So, okay, all right. The website is called aircortex.com, okay? aircortex.com. He calls this product Waldo 2.0, okay? I'm going to send the link. Link is in the show notes also, Lucas. And it has this guy has this tweet. Well, I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Yes, please.
Look, this is his Twitter. This guy is called Stephen
In the
Sturgis.
show notes, by the way.
And it's called Stephen Sturgis.
Nice. Man, that looks sick.
Now it's in there. So it identifies all the items. Like, look, it's like a pylon, building, car, and he also showed.
For those who don't watch it, so basically it's basically an image or like a drone image of a rural area with like a lot of houses, and it just identifies everything. Crazy.
And then wait, I want to show this. This was even crazier to me. So he also then I went to stalk this guy a little bit. Of course, I saw on his LinkedIn and everything. So this guy posted also on LinkedIn. And check this out. Is it sharing?
Yeah.
So this is a Toyota factory. So basically, this is an aerial view. So he's mapping out right now where it should work, the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see he puts down corners.
Yeah. So
and
just
then
limits.
Yeah. So because the algorithm needs to work exactly, needs to see what the limitations are, and then he, end of the day, wants to see that the algorithm can count all the cars that are in there. And look, now I asked like, hey. Then it doesn't.
He says like assuming that each car has roughly 8 square meters.
That's a Corolla. We have about 16,639 cars. That's just insane. It just does all this math and all this algorithm runs. And this guy did this for free. So yeah,
super cool. I mean, imagine that also in agriculture, right? So I think like in the future, imagine you can just like fly over over your fields, and then it can identify how many actually plants you have and how many are good, right? So because later on, if the footage is good enough and the algorithm can see what are signs of a bad crop or something like this, and then it can just filter it out. Man, that is super cool.
Actually, something that exists already. I think that was we listened to a podcast. I think it was in the Spanish one, Lucas, with Panther Advisors or whatever it's called. And there was this South American guy who has a startup now, and they do that for the rainforest and forestation. So what they do is they fly with drones over it, and then they count trees. And they see that everything is appropriate and see, hey, how density, etc. And they use AI as well. But this was a couple of years ago. So I'm guessing they made massive progress in that direction as well, which I think would be an interesting other angle to look at, and probably maybe for another different podcast to go into that company and see how they're doing, as well as because I think it's a non-profit and how they're performing right now. And then, all right, we're still in the Mission Impossible. All right, this is now next level spiking. We just talked about. All right, the next topic already fucking epic, and we've all seen it already in movies tons of times. And this one is of the Dark Knight Rises, this technology. And this is when this is when the Batman turns on the device that was created by Wayne Enterprises, basically turning every phone signal into a sonar to identify the people that are there, as well as listen to their devices, and then create basically a 3D model of the city and to identify and where the Joker is. And
man,
so
this scene was so epic.
I know, it was so epic. And then Lucius at the end is like, boom, destroys it. Ooh, Morgan Freeman, my boy.
My man.
National treasure right there. All right, so this technology, basically, you sent me the video on Instagram, is a guy holding a presentation, and he's basically telling guys, hey guys, so we trained an AI with a camera in an office building. In this office setting, we had people walking around, and then at some point, we turned off the camera, and then basically the AI learned the Wi-Fi signals as well as how it bounced back, etc., in the language. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And then at some point, it was able to recreate the movements as well as the locations of these people. So basically, like a sonar tracking people.
That looked super sick.
It looked super sick.
cool.
It looked exactly like in the
And
Batman
scary
movie.
as fuck as well. Imagine. All right, I can see where everybody is just based on the Wi-Fi signal bouncing around.
Well, if it works with
Not
Wi-Fi,
bad.
I'm sure it works also with other
Oh
devices,
yeah, I'm
right?
pretty sure for mobile data, all the signal. I'm sure can do that.
All right. So this is
crazy.
what they claimed to do, right? So I browsed a
Yeah.
little bit in the comments, and what I found was could also be a little bit of misrepresentation. So
How come?
because apparently this was created in Germany in 2017. There was a paper that basically showed that with Wi-Fi router as well as an extender, they were another thing I forget which it was. They were able to create a device that could locate people based
Yeah.
on this, but it wasn't with like artificial intelligence, so it's a little bit different. Maybe this is an advancement of it, but I'm not 100% sure because the words that he used also on the stage don't make necessarily sense in that connection. I don't know, at least that's some of the comments as well said. But I found it in general super interesting what people are using it now for and how AI can change a lot of things from espionage to, I mean, we already talked about how we're going to try and close online, etc. And I think there's going to be even more and more cooler things to do. And also I was thinking about the other one, the Stephen Sturgis one, the one that I mentioned before from the satellite, all that other stuff. Reminded me of a story that I don't know if it was in a movie or if somebody told this, that there was these Wall Street guys who were basically, they were shorting and buying futures of oil prices, and then they were looking at Venezuela at the ports, and they were renting satellites basically to see how much oil that was produced or not. And now I was thinking, man, they don't have to do it manually anymore. They can do that with a fucking AI, and they can do all of this stuff, like anything. Like, think about it. There's crops that you can have in live tracking. You can then short them or you can long them. You can buy them in advance. There's so much advantage just based on knowledge. I'm sure there's someone going to be using this kind of technology when it's widely available. You can just have someone fly with drones over some parts of this, like the country, depending on what natural
And
resources
then run the
they're banging
algorithm
on.
to see whether
Exactly.
production is like going well or not, and then based on it, it could be a result for the next season, and then you can.
Exactly.
Man,
I
that
mean,
is
I think.
sick.
Oh yeah, it was in Ray Dalio's book actually. In Ray Dalio book, he was talking also about this kind of stuff. Because he started at some point as like with meats, so you can also buy them this like what was pork halves I think, and in general, so he went out allowed to talk to these farmers who are holding these pigs, etc. And he got more information. Then he started creating models around it, etc. And I think this will also be at some point be effective just to be by visual, so you can see, track, basically live, have an algorithm do it. You don't have to do it manually, and you can forecast so well. And I think the people that are going to use this technology at the beginning might have a massive advantage. It can make a lot of money. But just a thought around there.
No, I think I really like it, and I really believe for all the listeners out there who work for a bank or want to play with futures, that might be the idea to make big money.
Well, and you have a lot of money because I'm sure that's not going to be cheap to rent out.
I mean, to
a
be honest, I
satellite
don't
as
think
well.
I don't think you need a satellite in the end, right? You can use a drone, right? So
Fair
I
enough.
think the cheap version would be just like flying around with a drone, which can be relatively cheap. If you think about those short traders, and like they can like spend a few thousand just to get like a drone view, and then they can just run the algorithm on top of it, and that's already good enough, right?
Well,
you don't have
would
to go
have
for
to
a
have a lot
satellite.
of people that do it, Lucas, right? Because there's not only one place where you do it. You need to have
Yes,
have
for
the whole
sure.
market.
Yeah. But if you know how much margins you have, like if you can say like with Yeah, so I think that might be worth it.
It could be interesting.
to
It
see.
could be interesting, but it's complicated. But I'm sure they will. There's very smart people. They're gonna figure this out and take advantage of this.
For sure. For sure. All right, Mark, I have another topic. Do you think we still got time for this one, or you want to keep for the
Alright.
next one?
No. If it's a short one, let's fucking go.
It's a very short one.
excited.
All right, guys. Let me just share my screen. So, text to for image was yesterday. Now it's text to video. All right, so it's called zeroscope. You can see you have images or videos based on text. Now this one actually caught my eye. So it's a video of an underwater, like with like creatures. They're looking super, super cool. And actually, because your boy was like, all right, I like Naruto. So I used ChatGPT, write a text. So I used ChatGPT and it wrote like a long text on Naruto running over a sea. Oppa. Let's see what comes out.
Okay,
All right, are you ready to see the result, everybody? I'm gonna share my screen.
let's fucking go.
It was a
bro.
long description. So here we go. Zeroscope.
So it was just ChatGPT.
I used ChatGPT and then copy pasted in Zeroscope text to video because I want to have like write a long description. Basically, my prompt was write a long description of Naruto running over a lake, but make it so because I want to use it for an AI tool that is text to video.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see
Okay.
this bad boy. Jesus. 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 What is happening here?
That's 3 seconds.
Oh my god. All right.
Show it again.
So
show it
this is
again.
definitely not
Do it.
Naruto running in his tracksuit. Oh my god.
Looks
On
like
his
a
back securely
Wait, is that the description?
yeah. On his back securely strapped was a sizable scroll containing his special ninja tools, rustling slightly with each stride. And
You know what that looks like? One of those 90s background savers.
oh my god, I'm gonna zoom in here a little bit for the audience. So this is the video. I mean,
Well,
guys,
this is
for
pretty
those who
epic.
don't see it, when you turned on in the 90s, TV was just black and white. It's like the Ant War or whatever you want to call it. A symbol looks like this, but I don't know.
Oh.
Oh my god. Yeah, so I just want to finish with this one. So I'm clearly saying my prompt wasn't the best one, but at least it created something. You can see some
Are you
water.
sure that they created the same when they used the same tool? I'm not sure about this one, bro.
Yeah, it is that one. It's Zeroscope. Oh my god.
My face.
For those who don't see it, please click on the video, go on YouTube, on Spotify video. Please check it out. It is hilarious. 3 seconds of awesomeness. Naruto running over a lake.
Bro, post it on our Twitter. Post it on our Twitter. Show us your proud creation. This is gonna be a tweet, guys.
Zeroscope AI text to video.
Shout
Naruto
out
running
Zeroscope,
over a
very
lake like a
proud.
ninja. Proud ninja. Oh my god. Well, all right.
My face hurts.
All right, I will call this the pod. All right, guys.
I was a good one. I like
Twins
it.
out. Catch you in the next one.
Twins out.